Blue Jays Nation, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you will give you chills. One swing, one moment, one heartbeat away from the most legendary walk-off in Toronto baseball history. Ernie Clement just broke an MLB postseason record that nobody saw coming, and I'm here to break down why this failure might be the most inspiring thing to happen to our franchise in decades. You think you know Heartbreak? You think you've seen Clutch? Today, we're diving into the swing that shook the Rogers Center and why every Blue Jays fan should be pumped about what comes next. If you're a true fan of the Blue Jays, you won't want to miss a second of today's breakdown. Smash that like, drop a comment about your favorite Clement moment, and subscribe for more blue and white coverage. Let me paint the picture for you, die-hard Jays fans. We just witnessed something absolutely magical at the Rogers Center last night. The entire season came down to one swing, one moment, one chance for our boy Ernie Clement to etch his name into baseball immortality. This wasn't just any ordinary World Series finish, folks. This was our chance to shock the baseball world and bring that championship hardware back to Toronto for the first time since those legendary back-to-back years in the 90 seconds. Clement stepped into that batter's box in the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, runner on third, down by 1 run against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The entire Rogers Center was on its feet, 50,000 Blue Jays faithful screaming their hearts out. This was the moment every kid dreams about in their backyard. And Clement, this journeyman infielder who got cut loose by multiple teams before finding his home here in the 6IX, was about to take the biggest swing of his life. The tension was suffocating. You could feel it through the TV screen. Andy Page is in left field, positioning himself perfectly. Clayton Kershaw's legacy on the line one final time. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the dugout. Knowing this could be the swing that changes everything for this franchise, but here's where it gets absolutely heartbreaking, Blue Jays Nation. Clement connected. That beautiful crack of the bat echoed through the Rogers Center like thunder. The ball sailed deep to left field, carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire country on its trajectory. For about 3 seconds, it looked like we were about to witness the most incredible walk-off in Blue Jays history. The crowd was already erupting. Clement was already rounding first base with his fist pumped. But wait, there's a twist coming that'll break your heart and inspire you at the same time. Andy Page made one of the most spectacular catches you'll ever see in World Series history. A full-speed collision with the wall, somehow hanging onto that baseball like his life depended on it. Clement could only chuckle as he jogged back to the dugout. That's the kind of class this man has shown throughout this entire postseason run. Now here's where this story gets absolutely incredible, and why every Blue Jays fan should be pumped about what we just witnessed. Clement didn't just have a good World Series. He didn't just have a great World Series. This man just set a new MLB record with 30 hits in a single postseason. Let that sink in for a minute. 30 hits. That's nearly hitting 400 throughout the entire playoff run. Before we continue, smash that like if you bleed blue and white and want to see more of these epic playoff runs in Toronto. But here's the kicker that has me absolutely fired up for next season. This wasn't some fluke performance from a superstar. This was Ernie Clement, the everyman's ball player, showing the entire baseball world what happens when you give a hungry player a real opportunity. The guy with the high socks and that infectious smile just proved that heart and determination can take you places that raw talent sometimes can't. Think about this journey for a second. Multiple teams gave up on Clement. He bounced around the minors, probably wondering if his big league dreams were ever going to come true. Then he lands here in Toronto, and manager John Schneider sees something special. The coaching staff believes in him. The Rogers Center faithful embrace him, and what happens? He becomes the breakout star of the World Series. This is exactly the kind of player development and team chemistry that's going to propel this Blue Jays franchise back to championship glory. We're not just talking about one magical postseason run. We're talking about building a culture where guys like Clement can thrive alongside superstars like Vlad Jr. and George Springer. Now, here's where it gets interesting for our 2025 outlook. The front office has to be looking at Clement's performance and realizing they might have struck gold with this signing. This isn't just about one player having a hot streak. This is about identifying talent that other organizations overlooked and maximizing that potential in our system. The AL East is going to be absolutely brutal next season. The Yankees are always going to spend big money. The Red Sox are retooling. The Orioles are young and hungry. But what separates championship teams from pretenders is exactly what we saw from Clement. Players stepping up in the biggest moments and delivering when it matters most. Imagine if we can build an entire roster with that same mentality. Guys who've been overlooked, who have something to prove, who understand what it means to wear that Blue Jays uniform. That's how you create sustainable success in this league. Here's what's got me most excited about next season. Clement's record-breaking postseason proves that our player development system is working. Our coaching staff knows how to get the best out of their guys. The Rogers Center can still be one of the most electric atmospheres in all of baseball when this team is clicking. Blue Jays fans, comment your city below. Let's map out just how far Jays Nation spreads and show everyone we're Canada's team with the loudest fans. Looking ahead to 2025, we need to build around this momentum. Clement's performance should be the blueprint for how we approach free agency and trades. Don't just chase the biggest names. Find the hungry players who want to prove themselves in Toronto. Surround our core guys with that same energy and determination. The beauty of Clement's near-heroic moment is that it reminded us all why we love this game. Baseball doesn't always work like the movies. Sometimes the perfect storybook ending gets robbed by an incredible defensive play. But the magic isn't just in the final result. It's in watching a player give everything he has when the lights are brightest. When people remember this World Series years from now, they'll talk about Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto and all the superstars. But hopefully they keep room in their minds for Ernie Clement, the unsung beacon of light who showed us what's possible when you never give up on your dreams. That's the spirit this Blue Jays franchise needs to carry into next season. That's the mentality that's going to bring championship baseball back to Toronto. And that's why Ernie Clement, even in defeat, became the hero we all needed to see. So, Blue Jays Nation, what's your boldest prediction for how this team builds on Clement's magical run? Who do you want to see in a Blue Jays uniform next season? Drop those thoughts in the comments. Smash that subscribe button if you want more blue and white coverage. And let's keep building toward that championship we all know is coming.